I actually wanted to talk to you guys about 10 secrets that I've learned as a psychic medium about heaven and the afterlife. And I'm going to tell you guys that everything that I share with you isn't information that I've read about. It's not information that I've researched. It's information that I've heard directly through the spirits that I've talked to during my readings. Every time that I give a reading, like you see on my channel, when I communicate with certain souls, what's really cool is they'll actually show me what heaven is like. They'll show me the people that they're with. They'll show me, what the spirit life is like and kind of some of the things that they do there. And sometimes when I don't know the answer to something, I'll ask those in spirit, what it is like to be in heaven. And many times they'll actually tell me the answer. So I want to let you guys know this because I don't know everything there is to know about death and dying. Nobody ever does unless, obviously we pass on and go to the other side and come back and can talk about it. But through the souls that I've spoke to, I have learned so much about heaven and the afterlife and death and dying. And I want to share that with all of you. And first of all, I want to let you guys know that some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight might come across a little bit shocking. But you guys know I don't hold back. I tell you every single thing that the spirit world tells me because I feel as though that you need to know. And more importantly, the more that you learn about heaven, the more that you learn that it's not a faraway place. It's not a scary place. And more importantly, your loved ones are with you every single day. So you ready for secret number one? Here's the first secret of the afterlife. And listen, make sure you're sitting on your chair for this one. I'm going to tell you the secret. And then I don't want anyone freaking out until I explain. All right. First secret is this, is that not all souls, okay, make it back together on the other side. What do I mean by that? I mean that, there's people here in this world that even though they are married, will not be married in heaven. Remember that soulmates always go back to soulmates. Your soulmate is your one and only. Your soulmate is the person that you're supposed to be with, the person that you're supposed to end up with on the other side. But here in life, there's as a medium, I can tell you, there's some funny things that happen. Sometimes we meet someone here in this world that is not our soulmate. And to be honest with you, we know about it. How many readings have I done where, two people are together and they're just not in love? It's not their soulmate. Maybe they're together because, they had children, and after they had children together, they didn't want to separate because of the fact that they didn't want to upset their kids or their family here in this world. Maybe it's that, they got married for reasons that were not love, but something else like money or, fame or some other reason, publicity, I don't know. And then another reason why is maybe you have been married multiple times, right? You can't have 3 husbands or 3 wives in heaven. But what I want you guys to know, all right, is that soulmates always end back up with one another. And I want you guys to know this. I feel this is so important to talk about because recently I did a reading and I got to tell you guys, I was heartbroken because there was this woman who, was in this relationship with this man for years and years and years. And, unfortunately he had passed away. And then, she was single she was still, they were together for about 10, 15 years. And then she was still young and she moved on. I shouldn't say moved on because we never move on through someone, but she moved past the hurt and the pain and, accepted the fact that he was with her in spirit and accepted the fact that, his physical presence wasn't there and that, in spirit, he was guiding and helping her. But then she met somebody else in life. And, during that time of meeting this new person, she had started a relationship with this person and they ended up getting married, but she truly didn't love him the way that she loved her first husband. And it was actually a situation where the man that she married, okay, second time around, he actually had lost his wife as well. And, that's the reason why the two of them, found comfort in one another. She had lost her husband. He had lost his wife. They met up with one another. They were actually introduced, through friends with one another. And she came to me for a reading and she's like, Matt, I love this man. He's an amazing man. He treats me well. He, lost his wife. I love him so much, but I know he's not my soulmate. He makes me happy. I love him, but it's not the same love that I had for my first husband. What does this mean? Does this mean that I'm not going to be with my first husband because I remarried? And I said to her what I'm telling you, that the spirit world revealed to me that, they both were going to go at the end of life back to their original soulmates. Her soulmate was her husband, her first husband, I should say. His soulmate was, his first wife. And what I want you guys to know is this, is that we're meant to have different life partners here in this world. We're meant to have different people that come into our lives for different reasons. Either we love them, they teach us a life lesson, or, maybe we meet our soulmate and we're pulled apart from them because we're just at the wrong places in our lives at that time. But what's so amazing in heaven is that the souls that are meant to be together, okay, are with one another. For example, I did another reading, and there was a reading that I did where there was this woman who was married to this man who she just was not in love with. And she just was so unhappy in the marriage. He did not treat her right. It was an abusive relationship, but he was passing, he was dying, he was leaving this world. And she was such a good soul that she actually took care of him up until the day that he passed. So instead of leaving him, instead of divorcing him, she took care of him, and stuck it out so that this way, because he didn't have anybody. And this way, he would be able to peacefully transition onto the other side. Well, she was so scared. She was so worried. She came to me with for a reading, and she was like, Matt, I'm so nervous. What's going to happen? This man was so cruel to me. He was so, abusive to me. I did so much for him. But will we end up back together? Because I don't want to spend the rest of my life, spend the rest of eternity, I should say, with this person who treated me so bad. Like I'm telling you, this is the reason why some souls don't go back together. If it's a true love connection, and it's a true soulmate connection, then your love, okay, your love will remain in the afterlife. Remember that when we pass on, we take with us the love that's within our hearts. And when you feel someone is your soulmate and they feel that exact same way and you love them and the two of you are so connected with one another, your soulmate is who you end up with on the other side. It doesn't matter if you've had three husbands, it doesn't matter if you've had, just one boyfriend and one husband. It doesn't matter if you never got married here in this world, but you dated somebody who you loved and cared about. Soulmates go back to soulmates. And on the other side, we actually choose. Heaven doesn't choose, by the way. Heaven isn't on the other side. Okay, all right, you signed the marriage contract. You're with Bob over there. All right, Roberta, you signed the marriage contract. All right, you're with Helen over here. That's not the way that it works. What happens is when we go to the other side and we go through our life review and we look at everything that happened in our life, we actually see who our true soulmate was. And that is who we end up with. And we actually choose that person. So even though I say that, heaven has a hand in it, we actually choose who it is that we, align with on the other side. And it's amazing because what the spirits tell me is that it's hard for us to grasp here in this world. But on the other side, the minute that you get there, it all becomes crystal clear. And you just know who you're meant to be with. All right. So hopefully that didn't freak you guys out too much.